Yup, it's dry season, both in terms of weather and in terms of album releases. Feels like everyone who prepped an album during lockdown last year has already released it, and everyone else who was waiting until after the pandemic ended is still holding on for a few months longer. And I suspect September onwards are gonna be real busy, but that leaves a few months of not much happening. It's not nothing at least. Anyways, yeah, this is Albumpressions. It's weird how most of the good prog metal these days comes from death metal spheres, but I'm not complaining. It might also just be the amount of saxophone these guys use, which I'm always a sucker for, but I dug this quite a lot. The songs are punchy, fast-paced, and colorful, but dynamic enough to not just be an endless wall of riffs and shreddy guitar solos either. They also have a good ear for anthemic, power metal-esque hooks that gives the sound some accessibility, even if they're just as likely to shift to jagged riffing or indulgent soloing the moment the chorus ends. I can't say this feels like especially loaded with personality, but it's still one of the most compelling prog metal releases I've heard in recent memory all the same. Not a ton else to say about it, it just rocks. Well, a pretty short release, so not one I'm going to drone on about for too long, but definitely worth highlighting all the same. There's a very colorful and vibrant screamo style across this album, bouncing between melodic riffing and jagged breakdowns pretty seamlessly, keeping that nice balance between beauty and intensity going throughout. Special shout out to the 1-2 punch of Next Morning and Weather Vane, which add in some orchestral elements that really build some wonderful swell. I wouldn't say it's a massive standout in the genre, a bit short on runtime and personality, but it's certainly one of the more immediately ear-catching screamo releases I've heard in recent memory, and that's gotta count for something. When I see the mathcore tag on new releases, I simultaneously get intrigued and worried. In theory, I should like mathcore, but so much of it devolves into pointless heaviness. Not this, though. Honestly, it's more like math rock with a bit of an edge to it than anything. A lot of this reminds me of Chan of all things, though that's not to say they aren't metal and or core either. There are certainly moments where they go full-on heavy, yet they never lose a melodic edge when doing so. And I think that's why this album works so well. It's dynamic, it's colorful, spotting a trend this month, and it doesn't overstay its welcome either, though I wouldn't have complained about a slightly longer runtime, but a neat little surprise, and I'm definitely curious to hear more from this group. And yep, that's it. Well, I don't mind the quick one. I've got a big top 10 list to start drafting real soon here anyways, so I'll take the extra time. Until then, I'm Cyro, and I'll see y'all later.